get started.
This meeting is being recorded.
So you'll probably get a little notice. And actually, if you guys could mute yourselves, I trust you guys to do that. And then come off mute if you have any questions. I don't mind if you have questions at all, but we're going to go ahead and try to show this month's kit within an hour. We've got 5 cards. And so, hello, I'm Lela Meinke with Serenity Cards and Coaching. You can find me at lelameinke.com. And for any information that you don't catch today, you can go to lelameinke.com/subscribe and you can get all the information. Today, I'm going to share how to make these 5 cards, and I'm going to share how you can get a kit of these 5 cards one of 2 ways. Team members, you already know, if you're on my team, this is the team kit for this month and you already have that information. And then customers, you can earn this kit for free, and I'll be sharing more about that as we go along. So now I got my cards out of order, but they're in order over here. So we're going to go ahead and get started. We are using the hand penned kit, the hand penned petals stamps. And we're going to use every single one of them today, which I love. And there's a thanks, anything is possible, feel better, friend, congratulations, and just all these beautiful flowers that we can color a number of different ways. There's also matching dies and matching designer series paper. Now the dies and the stamps are staying. The designer series paper is going away. So if you want it, you can get a fraction of it free with minimum purchase by getting this kit, or you can order the designer series paper yourself. And so these are the dies. Can you see them right here? I know they're a little bit small. You'll see them in action today too, but they match the stamps, and there's leaves and there's pretty flowers. And it's just, this is honestly my second time featuring it. I featured this set when it first came out, and I'm featuring it again because I love it so much. And here's the designer series paper. And we're going to see some of these patterns in action today. It's 2-sided, and you get a pack of 12 sheets, and it matches all these different colors. So let's go ahead and let me share some how-tos for how to assemble this kit. Now, when you get my kits, one thing I really pride myself on, and I'm going to add to the plate, we've got stitching with the baseball die. So I really try to make kits that I love to make and use, and that have extra special touches and dies and all that you need. So, so when you get this kit, you're going to get enough gems for the cards, and you're going to get the ingredients, exactly the ingredients to make the different cards. Now, I don't stamp anything for you. I did pre-stamp today because we only have an hour and I really wanted to be efficient with the time. So I did pre-stamp, but you'll get all the die cuts, all the paper, all the gems, and they'll be cut to size. If you just want the PDF, I do have the PDF with measurements available. And so this guy is going to come, of course, the designer series paper won't be attached to the cardstock, but I will give you the base. And the base, it looks kind of like a postcard, just for this particular design. You will get this piece, and it's scored at 1/2 inch. And I just wanted to show you, because this one's a little bit interesting, how to work it. So you just adhere the designer series paper, and you can either use glue, which is my favorite, or double-sided tape. And then you're going to put it so that the flap goes like this. And then and only then are you going to adhere it to the card. So let me show that in motion. You're going to do behind right here, because it's going to attach to the back. And when you use glue, you only need the tiniest little bit. Probably might have even put too much. And I'm going to center that, just I spy with my little eyes. So I'm going to center that as best as I can. And I like that. Now there is one other thing I wanted to show you. It is very possible that I might be a hair off with the measurement here. It was kind of a fussy thing trying to get it exactly just right. So if that little bit of extra white bothers you, you may need to go trim off a little slice, which I'm going to do right now with my trimmer. So just trim off the tiniest little slice. You can just come right here and just do a tiny little shave like that, and that's probably fine. So it's very possible I might be off 1/8 of an inch or so when I give you guys the ingredients. Then you're going to adhere it to the card base. Again, free with minimum purchase. You get the PDF that comes with this and you get the kit. So you can not only follow along with this, but you can, one thing I love to do when I get kits, you can recreate it, right? Because you'll have all the measurements and you'll have like done it once in action. So you'll know how to do it. So I have, I don't know, it was a multi-page PDF with exactly all the right measurements, all the ingredients. So there we go. I'm going to put this guy on with dimensionals. Now here's what I want to say about that. Doris and I have been discovering, Doris is my sister. Hi, Doris. Doris is here. Doris and I have been discovering lately that sometimes the post office is wanting more postage if you've got like extra bumps or something. So, so this may or may not fit with a regular postage stamp. I'm going to go, or you might need to do like an extra ounce. So I put that guy on with dimensionals and I just commit to it. You know what? I love texture. I love dimension. I love all the things. So I just commit to extra postage if I need to. I'm going
Janet,
to.
Lela, I would be tempted to glue that thanks down to the floral, and then I wouldn't use dimensionals for my Cards for Causes cards.
That is a perfect. So depending on, because we do have Cards for Causes, so we send out many, many cards. Many of us send out many cards to people. And if you want to know about Cards for Causes, I actually send information out about that too. Go to lelameinke.com, subscribe. Oops, I put the glue, I think, in the wrong place. I probably should have put the glue a little closer so that it adhered to where the thanks is. But either way, you just want a little bit. Now, what am I using here? I'm going to put under here. I was talking and not thinking. I'm just going to put a tiny little bit right there, just so that it adheres. And paper adheres to paper so good, you guys. So once you get just the littlest bit of glue, it's going to stay. I'm probably going to put one more little mini glue dot under there, but let me show you this now. So these flowers are made out of another paper that's retiring. I don't know if you can see that shimmer, but this is shimmer vellum in colors. This paper is also retiring. It's so sweet, but you'll get a couple flowers in your kit. And then I just put the largest, these are the genial gems. These genial gems are retiring, and you'll get a couple strips of them in your kits, but actually they're retiring and they're half off. So you can get them for, I think, $4 or $4.80 or something like that. So you guys, there you go. That is card number 1. Super sweet. And again, it's up to you if you add the gems or if you add the dimensions, depending on how much postage you want to pay, or if you want to hand deliver it, or what you want to do. So
Can
that's
you
that guy.
open it for us? Open it. Thank you. I just wanted to say that.
So sweet. Thank you. And then I know Stamper Terry is so good. So I've been kind of following her model. Instead of like writing everywhere, like you just write kind of underneath here, and then it looks like a beautiful card with no writing. And then you open it up and then you've got the writing. So, so there you go. That's that guy. Maybe you want to decorate the envelope a little bit. That's card number 1. And so you can use a couple different papers. This is the pattern you're going to get. I thought that matched the pale papaya a little bit better, but I was just playing with different papers. This is a great sketch, by the way, super fun. Like 2.5 by 5, I think that paper is, you guys. And then what was that vellum paper? That vellum shimmer paper, also retiring, comes in 12 by 12, and you can punch little flowers out of it, die cut little flowers, just so pretty. So there's that guy. All right, so now I'm gonna put these gems off to the side. The gems will be in one of the envelopes. I don't think it's in the envelope for the very first card. I've already packaged a lot of this. I think it's in the envelope for this card. but don't you fear, they will be in there. And so this is the second card we're going to make. And this is this guy. And just another fun fold. And so I'm going to show you some two-step stamping on this. Now, when you get the ingredients, you'll get the ribbon like that. It will not be assembled. I actually was just trying to be a little bit quicker and adhere some things before we started. So, but you're going to get everything cut exactly to shape. So let me just get this guy down. When I stamped this guy, this was in Cinnamon Cider. The color Cinnamon Cider is retiring. Super sad about that. I love Cinnamon Cider. I love cinnamon. That's actually one of the reasons that I did the kit this month, is because I wanted to feature Cinnamon Cider one more time. And I love these flowers. So when you stamp the thanks, and doesn't it look hand penned? Like that's a stamp, that's not handwriting, but isn't that really sweet? So when you stamp the thanks, make sure you stamp it in the bottom, because you don't want like the flower to cover over it. So go to the very, very bottom right. I mean, I love to see what you guys come up with. Do whatever you're going to do. But if you're going to follow along exactly, my tip to you is put it in the bottom right. And that way there's just room for everything. This flower fits exactly on this basic white cardstock. And I stamped it in Memento Black. And Memento Black works great with our blends, and it works great with our ink. And so the way that I colored this guy was I did two-step stamping. So I'm going to use Pale Papaya ink, and I've got everything. I told you we're going to use every single stamp, and we are. And on this one, you know what? I will tell you, I'm a little messy Bessie. So when I did this one, I did not fit the exact stamps. I was missing a flower. I didn't even realize it, but I found it. So when I do it this time, I'm going to do the exact stamp that like this flower fits within that flower. This one might go out of the lines a little bit. I'm kind of an out of the lines person, but this time I'm going to do it for you. There are ones that fit exactly, so we're going to fit them exactly. I'm going to put this off to the side, and I'm going to use my Stampin' Pierce mat, because with photopolymer stamps, and these guys are photopolymer, they're clear. With photopolymer, you're just going to get a much better rendering if you stamp on a Stampin' Pierce mat. So I'm going to go ahead, and the largest flower fits in the largest flower. Now my Pale Papaya ink pad, oopsie, hasn't been inked up in a while. Oh gosh, well, isn't that interesting? See, well, make sure that your stamp stays really secure. Oh my gosh, I probably am due for a cleaning of these. So my Pale Papaya hasn't been inked up in a while, so re-inked in a while. So it's pretty fair. So I'm not stamping off. So now this is the medium flower. I'm going the next size down, and I'm kind of fitting how it fits there. I'm going to go ahead and stamp right there. And there that guy is. And now we're going to work our way around to some of the other flowers. Now we're going to do Pool Party, and we're going to do some of the smaller flowers. And then we're going to do saffron for the different leaves. And so let's get this all ready. So this is two-step stamping. You can color these leaves a number of ways. I love two-step stamping. It looks beautiful. It looks watercolored. It fits. Now my Pool Party ink pad's very, very inky, so I'm going to stamp off because it's super, super saturated. And then I'm going to come over here, and it fits just right inside those two flowers. So I'm going to stamp off and come over here. You can color these flowers a number of ways. We're doing two-step stamping right now. And so the little guys fit right there. And then there's one more in Pool Party. Where did it go? Oh, here, there's one more size flower. You'll figure it out when you're doing it. I know there's a lot of flowers and I'm going kind of quickly, but you'll figure it out. Just take the time to match them up. So now that guy goes right there. And our beautiful watercolor masterpiece is coming together. So now I'm going to do the leaves, and I'm going to do those in So Saffron. My So Saffron is pretty saturated. No, I think I did it full. Okay. What I love about these leaves, to give them some personality, sometimes I'll go one way, and then sometimes I'll come back in and I'll go the other way. Sometimes I'll do a first impression. Sometimes I'll do a second impression, might stamp off a little. Like, I like to have a lot of variety because that's what I think that watercolor is. And then I'm going to come back in one final sweep with the big leaf, and I'm going to go this way with that guy. And then I'm going to go that way with that guy. And there is our flower. And I didn't stop there. I decorated him up with a bunch of gems. I put a gem in the middle of every single center. So let's take a second. Now, I didn't adhere this to the cinnamon cider additional layer. I don't do that until I'm all done with coloring, because what if I make a mistake? Then I can just start again without wasting that piece of cinnamon cider. So I've got that there. And now I'm going to come in and I'm just going to, so you're going to get big gems and you're going to get little gems, and you are going to get enough in this kit to just set, you can just saturate, just put them everywhere. But honestly, they're on sale right now. They're a reduced price. So, so if you want more, did I say they're $4 or $4.80? I don't remember, but whatever they are, I paid more. So when they go in your kit, you're going to get the ones I paid more for, but I don't care. They're fun.
Lela, isn't
Yeah.
I thought two-step stamping was when you stamp twice, you stepped a darker and a lighter color.
Oh, two-step stamping is, all right, I got all those on there. The first step, and you didn't see it, the first step was that I stamped the flower, the base of the flower. So the first step, and I didn't show you the first step, so maybe that could be confusing. Let me do that here. In this case, it depends on the stamps. Like, these are an outline. So that's
Okay.
step one.
Okay.
Then I come in with, this is a great question, Linda, thank you. And then you come in and you stamp wherever the leaf went. You stamp with step two. So it
Okay.
really depends. Like, I know I've done other two-step stamping where they were not as they were more filled in, right? They were not as like, it wasn't a line drawing, it was a heavier line. But those are your two steps. I did it in black first, and then I came back in with some color. So that was a great question.
What is this stamping called where you have the flower and you stamp it once and it's like a watercolor look? You stamp it once and it's light, and then you stamp it again, only it's a smaller part of the flower. It's the deeper part, deeper color.
I think that is also two-step stamping. So I think what you're saying is, what if I had two flowers like this that were really, really full, right? So is that what you're saying? So if I do one,
No,
No?
I'm thinking set off the top of my head, and it might be the
Is it Stampin' Up?
no. I'll go find a stamp set and then I'll let you know.
I called that other way of stamping two-step stamping too. I know what you're talking about.
Okay.
Oh,
Where you do the background in one color and then you emphasize it with another layer.
Right.
is that
And
this?
sometimes it's just a
Yeah, like
Just a-
that. And that's what I thought two-step stamping was.
And you guys, it makes perfect sense. It really is two steps. So you're coming in with the first stamp, and then you're coming in with the second stamp.
But really it's a third because you'd have the black outline too. So it would really be 3 steps then.
Perfect. Yeah.
abstract impressions is one of them. But that's
Okay.
anyways, okay, I got it answered. There's just several forms of
There
it's
are.
like a distinctive look. It ends up looking like a distinctive stamp.
Yeah. Yeah. There are many different names and many different, like embossing, right? In our challenge,
right.
we're focusing on embossing this month. Well, what does that mean? Does that mean dry embossing? Does that mean heat embossing? So it can have like different flavors. All right, so then if you saw what I did, I just put a little bit of glue or adhesive on the back, just right up here. You don't want it all here, because if you had it all here, then what would happen? Then it would adhere to this guy. We don't want that, right? And then the final thing I did, and I always try to give enough ribbon in my kits, because happy hands make happy bows. So I'm going to have a nice long strip, and then I'm gonna tie a little bow right here, right in the center. And then this is just a sweet card. You guys, I love these stamps. I love them. And so here is another, and they look great, even if you're not using the paper that's the colors that are in the designer series paper. I have a couple other samples. I wonder if I have samples that are not. Okay, that's a little ginormous bow. But anyway, you guys get the idea. Take your time, get your bow just right, snip off the little edges, and then you've got a happy thank you card for sending a thank you to someone. So there we go. All right, and that is our card number 2. All right,
That's
and then
that's a pretty fold. I like that.
awesome. And in the PDF, and Linda, you get the PDF because you're on my team, and I think you're getting the kit.
Right.
You get the PDF. So these measurements you could do with any paper, any pattern, anything, and you just really put your focal point right there, and then a nice sweet little sentiment right there. So awesome.
Right.
Yeah. Have fun with that. All right, that's that guy. That's card number 2. And now we will go. Let me clean house for just a minute, because I'm learning that when you clean house, things go smoother. You're not searching for things everywhere. All right. Okay, that was card number 2. And now let's go to card number 3. Oh my gosh, Bob's so proud. He's coming in with his stitching. I mean, he's working on this stitching right now for this baseball. I'm gonna brag and show again, but he's so proud. He keeps coming in with different versions of it. Okay, we are now going to work on card number 3. We're getting a little bit harder as we go along. And so this guy, I've cut all the layers for you, and there's just a few tips I want to share with you. And I wanted to talk about this guy because black and white can sometimes be, well, I'm going to be honest. I didn't used to embrace working with black and white. I'm like, it's so stark. What do you do with it? And so I'm embracing the black and white. This paper is actually from another retiring product. It's the Pattern Party Hostess Designer Series paper, which is amazing. It's got colors on one side, black and white on the other. And I kind of liked the repetition of all like the little polka dots everywhere. But anyway, black and white, you could just put a little pop of color, and then just the flower just comes to life, and everything else just serves to kind of support it in the backdrop. So there's a few things I want to share with you here. I give you all the ingredients. Again, I do not stamp anything for you. So you would stamp the flower there. And then you're going to get this strip so you adhere it, and you're going to get this strip so you adhere it. I want to show you what I did here. So this is that vellum paper. It's just so pretty, the shimmer vellum. I put a piece of fresh freesia behind it. I wanted the shimmer of the vellum, but I didn't want it to be so transparent, because if I did it like that, you can see that it's just perhaps a little too undressed for my liking. So I put it on top of just another piece of fresh freesia that's exactly the same size behind it. And then when I put it on, it's going to give me the look of the shimmer, and it's not going to distract me with kind of the, I don't know, just undressed feeling of it or translucent feel of it. So how did I put it on? Well, vellum's always interesting to work with. I always try to put the adhesive where it's not going to be seen. And luckily I know that I'm going to be putting my flower right there. So I'm going to put my adhesive just right here. And paper to paper, you guys, doesn't need that much. I probably even put too much right there. Paper to paper does not need that much adhesive. It's gonna stay. So I just glued it on. You could use some double-sided tape as well, or snail, or CO plus. I promise you that will stay. So it's getting there, it's getting bonded right now. And then I'm going to go ahead and get it adhered to this layer. And I've got it kind of over a bit. So these layers are, they're just for fun. They're just behind the scenes. Your eyes don't even really pay attention to exactly what's lined up where. They're just there for some backdrop and interest. So I'm going to go ahead, now that it's there, I can let the glue smush out a little more. I'm going to let it sit right there for a little bit, and I'm going to go on to my flower. Once I get everything adhered again, I don't mind that those little corners come up and that it's got just a little bit of texture and life to it. But if you wanted to adhere it tighter, you could use mini glue dots and those would be pretty invisible. So, but I'm just going to let that sit off to the side. I stamped this. I stamped it on my Stampin' Pierce mat. And you can see right here that when I did stamp it on my Stampin' Pierce mat, I didn't use the whole image. So I went off a little bit on my grid paper. And now I'm just going to give it just the tiniest little bit of color. And as we work our way through all of the stamps, and I'm not kidding, we're using every single one. We're going to use Fresh Freesia. And we are going to use this stamp, which fits perfectly just right on it. I'm going to use my Stampin' Pierce mat to get the best impression possible. And then I don't know if Ayana's here, but last time Ayana was here and she fell in love with Wink of Stella. We're going to do some Wink of Stella. All right, this one does line up exactly, so I'm going to take my time. I hope I'm okay. My head's kind of at a weird angle, but I'm going to go ahead and stamp it. All right, there we go. And I love just the hint of like white kind of shadowing that's happening there. So I'm going to let that dry for a minute. I'm going to come over and stamp my Anything is Possible sentiment in Memento Black. You guys, these are the best sentiments. There's Anything is Possible, there's Thanks, there's Congratulations, and there's Feel Better, Friend. And so where did Anything is Possible go? I think that would just cover many, many causes, actually. And actually, Doris raised cards for causes earlier. Okay, I just want to make sure I get it right. Let me talk about that for a second, but let me get it centered just right. There we go. Perfect. It's right on there. This is the color and contour die. This die is carrying over, actually. So Cards for Causes, what we do with Cards for Causes, I'm going to grab my Wink of Stella. What we do in Cards for Causes, you can sign up to be a volunteer. You can sign up if you know someone who needs a card. And we love to send cards to people who, maybe it's someone turning 99. Maybe it's someone who just lost their puppy or doggy. Maybe it's someone who's having a rough time. Maybe it's someone who just graduated and is kind of moving on to their next stage in their career. And so you can sign up to be a volunteer, and you can sign up to have cards sent to anyone. And again, just go to lelameinke.com/subscribe, or just reach out to me and I'll let you know how you can become a volunteer. I'll let you know how you can put in a request to send a card to someone. But this set would work for like any of those sentiments, anything we might want to cover. All right. While I was talking, I put some Wink of Stella on there. You just need the lightest touch. Can you guys see that shimmer a little bit? Kind of, not really. There's some really nice shimmer on there. I can't get the light just right. Darn it. Oh, maybe just right there. Anyway, there's some really nice shimmer. So I'm going to go ahead. So on this one, I am going to do I am not going to use dimensionals. So in the spirit of being mindful of postage and putting things through without raised dimension, I'm just going to glue everything down, and I'm going to skip the rhinestones, although I'll show you the rhinestones. So, so I'm going to glue that down, and I'm going to glue this down. Now I had an idea after I made it. I thought, maybe let me put it straighter rather than on such an angle. So I've really got this one on an angle. I quite love it. I love a triangle. I was thinking, what would it look like if it went straight? So you can play with it and get it to the placement that you like. I think I'm going to put it a little more upright today. I'm gonna
No
get
wrong
my-
way.
It's the wrong way.
No wrong way.
There is no wrong way. That's what we love about stamping. There's no wrong way. There's no wrong way. All right. And that line that I said, that's what we love. That's what Doris always says. Doris, who just shared. So I was adding her little PS in there. All right. So I'm going to put that guy there. Anything is possible. And so I am not going to bling this guy up. So this could be something that could go through with regular postage. But to show you the stepped up version, you can add a few rhinestones. You can add a bow. I will include those in your kit. And I do always like a triangle. So when I did it, I put this on dimensionals. Yeah, I put this guy on dimensionals. And I put 3 rhinestones, bing, bing, bing. And I put just a nice little twine bow right there. And I put my twine bow on with a little mini glue dot. And so there you go. So here's version 1, version 2, and they're both super sweet. So there you go. That's that card. Any more questions or anything before I go on to the next one? All right, we're going to get a little bit more difficult with this next one. So this next one, and by the way, I got some of these designs. Hand Penned has been out for a while. And so I subscribe to a lot of different people's, actually I bought a PDF today. I subscribe to a lot of different people. So this was inspired by Erica and I made it my own, but I would like to give credit where credit is due. I just love this way the purples and yellows came together. So, all right, so we are going to make this card. And again, I don't provide the stamps or colors. So ahead of time, I stamped this and there's a die that works. So I rolled it through the die cut. So I did that ahead of time. You're not going to get this. But you will get the tag and you will get the inside white. I always give insides, and you will get all the extra little, like the leaves and the designer series papers and everything. I did stamp this ahead of time also. You guys, I tried it in Highland Heather and I decided I didn't like it. So I did it in Fresh Freesia there, even though the flower is in Highland Heather and the ribbons in Fresh Freesia. But really, there's no wrong answer. It's not that I don't like it. I like this one better. So I went with that guy. So I have all 3 of my, and I already cut all these for you. I'm going to cut them together at an angle because they all are cut at an angle. So I'm just going to come in, even though I'm not going to place them this way, this kind of assures that they all have the same angle. So I'm just going to come in and do that. And then I'm going to mount them. So here's tag 1. Oh, and let me talk about that bizarre guy too. I will talk about him in a second. But anyway, you've got these 3 little pieces and we're just gonna put these little flaps here for some visual interest. That guy I think is 1 inch. This guy is 1/2 inch. Of course, they're different lengths. I put way too much glue on. This is a fresh bottle of glue. I put way too much glue on that, but that's okay. So that's number 2. And then the anything is possible, which is just an amazing sentiment, is 3/4 of an inch. So go ahead and add that there. Go ahead and put that there. And there we have it. So that's that guy. You would go a little bit slower and make sure your left edge is exactly perfect. I can see a little yellow poking through, but that's fine. All right. And then you're also going to get this tag. This is our tailored tags, and it is carrying over. And we're not going to keep the whole tag. So I'm going to bravely hope that these don't fall off when I turn this over. I'm going to cut off the edge of the tag. I don't want the whole length. You could maybe ahead of time cut off maybe 1/2 inch or 1/4 inch, whatever that is. But I don't want the whole tag. What we're going to be doing is we're going to be putting our flower right here. We're going to be putting a ribbon right there. So, and we're going to be putting some leaves underneath. So adhere your tag, cut it off, or cut and then adhere. I'm fine either way. And then let's get this guy colored. So this guy is all the stamps. So I'm going to use Highland Heather. So this is Highland Heather, where the other one was Fresh Freesia. And then I've got Daffodil Delight, which I didn't get out ahead of time. We're doing on time. We are okay on time. All right. While I'm doing this, does anybody have any questions? Which one's your favorite card so far? Any favorites?
I like them all.
I do too, but
Awesome.
the soft succulent, I think.
All right. Lynn, hello. I didn't think I knew you were here. Hello. Good to see you.
Good to see you. I was a
Good to
little
see
late.
Good to see you. I know that you're ordering this set, actually. That's awesome.
Beautiful.
So some of these stamp and some of these you color. So I'm using Granny Apple Green blends to color. This is Granny Apple Green Light. And again, because it's a watercolor look, I'm not exactly being perfect staying in the lines. I'm allowing myself a little bit of latitude there. So I've kind of colored that in. I've used the light Granny Apple Green. And then I'm going to stamp the leaves also in Granny Apple Green.
Aunt Janet, I think I like all of the cards. I'm kind of stuck. They're all just so beautiful.
Aw, I kind of like all the cards too. I don't know if I could pick a favorite. Well, thank you. And thank you, Stampin' Up, for giving us, I'm not kidding. We played with this, like this was the first thing when the catalog came out. This was the first product we played with. And now as the catalog leaves, it's the last catalog. It's the last one we play with as the catalog leaves, just because it's so pretty. Thank you, Stampin' Up. And Stampin' Up's coming out with new cute things. All right, so I did my Granny Apple Green to fill in the rest of those colors. But you guys, you could use any colors, right? You could use anything that you have. So now I am going to, did I do dimensionals? Yes, I did. I did dimensionals. And the other thing I wanted to show you was how did I do these leaves? So you're going to get these die cuts. These come with hand penned. These are Granny Apple Green die cuts. And I used this duo over on the right, and I cut these apart for placing them on the left. And so I just snipped like this one right here. I snipped that, so I got an intact leaf. And then I snipped. So it doesn't look like it's intact, but you can just kind of create your own shape just like that. And now I have another intact leaf, and you can save this off to the side or do whatever you will. And then how I did the flower was I put the flower, I did dimensional the flower, and then I tuck the leaves underneath after. So once I have the flower positioned how I like it, then I come in and put the leaves in the way I want them. And here's what I want to tell you about the flower. Be careful. The first time that I put it on, I almost overshot it. I was just getting carried away and I'm like, oh, that looks great. And I almost had it like coming off the card. Then it's not going to fit in the envelope. So you want to place it so that, of course, it doesn't go off the card. That's like that. And now we can come in. Love these little glue bottles. If you want to know about them, let me know, but they're perfect for just putting a little bit of glue, although not right now. Okay.
Can I
So
add
now-
a quick note here?
Yeah.
I don't have the hand pen set, so like, I'm not gonna say it, but somebody might say, oh, well, I can't get it because I can't stamp those flowers. But what I do is either I cut the DSP and I fussy cut that and then I use that, or else I have a different set, like I have the color and contour, which matches it too. And I'll use a flower out of that. So just because you don't have that exact set doesn't mean you can't go ahead and get the kit anyways. There's always a way to work around it.
Gary, I love that you added that. I love that you added that. You do not have to have these flowers at all. You can absolutely put your own sentiment right there. You don't even have to have these same colors. You could put a black sentiment. You could put any flower here. Absolutely. I love that you said that. And to be honest, like last time I checked, things were in stock. It's very possible you go take a look and it's so popular. Maybe it's not in stock for a little while. So with all the shipping things going on in the world, we need to be flexible about delays or not being able to have the exact same thing. So absolutely. I absolutely design my kits with that in mind, that you can use anything. And Carol is a great example. You should see what she does. She fussy cuts images, and she is a great example of you don't have to have exactly the same thing. All right, so you guys there. So I don't know if you saw, but I used those leaves intact. I cut that little guy on his own. I cut that little guy on his own. And you might have seen, sometimes I put the glue like above. You would think I would put it underneath to put it on the paper, but sometimes I put the glue on top and I attach it to the flower above so that it just looks like it has a little more height or a little more attachment. So, and again, I'm making sure that it's not coming off. And then I can pop on a couple sweet little gems all over the place. And that'll be this card. So, all right, that's that guy. And we'll go like that. All right, so there we go. That's our next card. I can't pick a favorite, but this could be in the running. Oh no, wait till you see the next one. The next one actually could be my favorite. All right, let's do it. Oh, the next one, because it's like coloring. All right. Okay, this one for a fact. Ooh, you guys, look. This one for a fact could go through the mail because it doesn't have any height of any sort. It's just like 3 pieces, right? So doing a little bit of house cleaning here. And let's go ahead and take a look at this guy. All right. So again, you won't get stamped images. And you could do this with any flowers. So I took the time to stamp ahead of time. I'm going to give you some coloring tips because we're not going to do 2-step coloring this time. We're going to color with blends this time. But I always give an inside, usually doesn't have a smear, but anyway, I always give a white inside. So I've done that. You got a basic black outside layer. And then what are some tips to stamping the flowers? You may or may not be able to tell, but that corner and that corner have the same stamp. That corner and that corner have the same stamp. I've turned them just so you can't tell that it's the same stamp. And then I filled in between with a smaller stamp right there. So it's got the look all the way around. And then once I had all the flowers stamped and I liked how I stamped them, I put my sentiment in the middle. You're never going to get like the same look twice. So maybe if I didn't have that much room, maybe I would put a sentiment that went long ways. The only thing I did once that I will tell you I was sad about, I didn't stamp my sentiment straight. It was crooked. So then you either throw it out or turn it over, or maybe stamp it on another little piece of paper and do a little punched element there. But anyway, I did the sentiment last because I wanted it to be like exactly where it would get the right placement. But I guess you could stamp flowers around the sentiment. I just didn't do it that way, but you be you. So so now I want to talk about our blends, which I love. I used Flirty Flamingo and Polished Pink here, Granny Apple Green, So Saffron, Fresh Freesia, Highland Heather, Pool Party. And I think that's it. And I have all of those listed in the PDF. And if you don't have those colors, use different colors. You could certainly do this all in purples. If you had Fresh Freesia, you could certainly do this all in Fresh Freesia. You could absolutely, if you got the kit and maybe you didn't have anything that matched this, you could put it on another base and just use the colors that you do have. I'm using our blends. They're alcohol markers. They work with our Memento black ink. You want to be really careful using them with the right ink. And I love Flirty Flamingo, so I use Flirty Flamingo. And I don't think I'll be able to sit and color exactly the whole thing here, but I'll give you some kind of just tips of what I do. So I color with the nib end, so not the brush end, and that's going to give me the most amount of control. By the way, I know I went through those colors quickly. I list them in the PDF, and I'm also recording this, as you know, and I will save this to YouTube and link it from Facebook so you guys can come back and replay it if you want. While I'm coloring and sharing some tips, let me talk about how you can get this kit. Either you're on my team and you can purchase it as the team Make and Take and you already have that information, or you can get it as customer, you can get it free with a minimum purchase. And I have a few different levels of purchase. So level 1 is free with a minimum $35 purchase. You get these 5 cards free. Plus you get whatever you ordered for the $35 from Stampin' Up. I'm now going to Polished Pink actually. So that was light flamingo. Now I'm going to light polished pink, and I'll show you how I kind of pull those together. So that was level 1, $35 free with minimum purchase. I ship everything. I ship the kit to you, and there you have it. And you order online, and you use a hostess code. So that's level 1. Level 2, free with $50 purchase, you get a free pack of gems. You get these a whole pack of genial gems. And you get, so what I'm doing here, by the way, is I'm taking the brush end and I'm kind of see right here, you can see the colors aren't really blended. But then when I kind of take the brush end, there's not so much of a demarcation and there's more of a blending or kind of just a graduated thing that flowers actually do. So I did Flirty Flamingo for those 2 flowers. Okay, free with $50 purchase, kit, pack of gems, and a free designer series paper sampler. Free with $100 purchase, what do you get? You get 2 sets of these cards. So you get 10 cards and free pack of genial gems and designer series paper sampler. So I love to spoil my team. I love to spoil my customers. And I can tell you for a fact that I usually produce a certain amount and I've already sold out of the certain amount. So I'm ordering more and I will produce more and I'm happy to do it. Very grateful. Best-selling kit ever. Very grateful. I'm coloring in Granny Apple Green right now. And I'm kind of coloring, this Granny Apple Green needs to be replaced. I was coloring on the brush end, but it's been very loved. And that happens with our blends, they get loved. and then it's time to replace them. I've had them for quite a while. I was waiting to see if we were going to have a color refresh. Sometimes we change our colors. I love that our colors all work together. And we did not get new colors. So, well, we got 5 new in colors, but anyway. So now I'm going to come in with a darker granny apple green, and I'm going to go along. I mean, Stampin' Up is great. They already do the shading for us, so I can kind of follow along with the things that they show us. And I like to do darker maybe at the base. So again, you can see here that it's not really blended. It looks pretty stark. So I'm going to come in with the lighter color and I'm going to blend it. And because it's alcohol based, it kind of, it spreads is the best thing I can say. It just kind of whoosh like that. And it just kind of all plays well together. So I'm just giving it a little bit of a blended look. And there we have it.
So-
There.
So
is our-
beautiful.
Aw, thank you. There's our little corner right there. I want to show you how I did those flowers. I could have done those flowers one of 2 ways. I could have taken maybe some fresh freesia and I could have just drawn in some little dots because these particular flowers have like little dots. So I could have done something like that. There's a stamp that does it really, really well. And I told you guys we were going to use all the stamps. So we're going to use all the stamps. This is the final one we haven't used yet. And it's got all these little dots on it. So I'm going to use my fresh freesia and I'm going to come over here and I'm just going to go like that. And it looks fine to kind of mix a little bit of blend and a little bit of stamped. I think you could do that with some of the other, well, no, I made that guy a little weird. But anyway, so you can mix 2-step stamping and coloring with blends. I'm going to come in now with my light granny apple green and just give a little bit of color to the stems there. And there we go. And then what did I do here? Now what I did in the corners, I colored the leaves in granny apple green. I colored the little flowers in Pool Party. Or no, I colored kind of the medium flower in Pool Party. And then I put like a saffron in the middle. And so I probably used the dark there. So I love Pool Party. I love it. I love it. And I'm using saffron here. I'm using a mix of saffron and daffodil, but there we go with that guy. And then I could keep going and going and going, but I think you guys get the idea of how to color this. And so this is, again, I'll just take you on a tour through this. So I colored those 2 the same, Flirty Flamingo. This was saffron on the outside and daffodil in the middle, freesia outside, saffron in the middle, heather outside, daffodil in the middle, pool outside, saffron in the middle. And I just kind of mirrored it across and just used some of the same technique. And so, yeah, there we go. Any questions on coloring with blends, you guys?
That's my favorite card though.
Is it? I
Yeah.
know. First I was like, the last one was, and I'm like, wait, I take it back. All right. Oh, I hope you have fun doing it. I hope you have fun doing
That's
It's a
my
beauty.
favorite card too, Aunt Janet.
it. Aw.
It's just gorgeous. Yeah.
And you guys, it would fit in an envelope. I mean, of course, it would fit with one stamp, right? So we think we've got to add miles and miles and piles and piles. We can do this. Yeah, I don't even care. I know it's got a teeny little smudge. I don't even care. I just love it. Awesome.
That's where I
All
put a
right.
gem.
Absolutely could. So you guys, here are our 5 cards. And again, team, this is a kit for this month. Let me know if you want it. Customers, you can get this free with minimum purchase. And I talked about the all the different levels. And you know what? I will just give you a bonus view of a couple things while we're here. Let me grab those. So yeah, free with minimum purchase. You
So
get the
excited.
PDF, you get the card, you get the 5 cards, the video replay, and then whatever it is you're ordering from Stampin' Up. So I do have a few other samples, so I'm going to put those off to the side. I told you we did this in bingo a year ago. So in bingo, we made this card. And so that's that designer series paper, that's color and contour, that's pool party. Those are those gems with just a little different look with pool party. So we made those super simple to make that card. I think we didn't make this in bingo. I think I might have
No.
sent it to people. I think I sent this to some people, but so this was Highland Heather and Spruce and Highland Heather ribbon. So that was that guy.
That's gorgeous.
Thank you.
Mhm.
I think this one we made in bingo.
Yeah.
And I never did fix the PDF, but I have the little window size wrong in the PDF. So if you do the PDF, I gotta fix that. Actually, let me make a note because Judy is gonna get that PDF. She'll must get the right instructions. Fix window. Anyway, looks like a little barn door, right? So this kind of brick gate, if you will. Just a sweet little card. So yeah, we did that in bingo. All right, that's that. And then, yeah, oh, here's one. We didn't do this in bingo, but it's the same polished pink, fresh freesia, pale papaya, so saffron. And then
So
black,
soft coloring. I love it.
so pretty. And then doesn't it just, I mean, it's called hand penned. It just looks hand penned. So there you go. So
Thank you, Lela. I have to go.
all right. All right. Bye-bye, Linda. That's it.
Bye,
That's it
Linda.
for today. That's it for today. So you guys, thanks for joining. And actually, for those that are staying, if I find the baseball stuff really quick, do you want to see the baseball kit?
Did
Yeah.
you say everything you were gonna say about Cards for Causes? You said something about it. I'm sorry, I don't remember.
Oh,
just
and
want
I
Cards
can't
for
find the baseball kit anyway. So Cards for Causes, you can join by going to lelameinke.com/subscribe.
Oh, yeah, you did.
And you can volunteer to be a person and you'll get an email, and they're random. You might get 3 in one day. You might get 0 for a week. And you can send cards to people. Address is included. You're not required to send to anybody. It's optional. You can send when you want. Don't send when you can't. And there's all different seasons, all different ages, all different milestones or reasons. It's for any cause. It could be a good cause. It could be let's cheer someone up. It could be hope. It could be prayers. It could be encouragement. So you can volunteer for that. And if you know someone who needs a card, please fill out the form. We would love to have you fill out the form, and we would love to send cards. So I think that's it. Yeah.
Yep.
All right. So you guys, that's it. I will have to show you the baseball cards another day, but that's it for today. Lots of hand pens. Let me know if you have any questions. I'm going to stop the recording and then I'll be on for a second if you have any more questions. So let me stop